Crisis management. Bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. As revenge for the bombing of a Berlin nightclub where 2 U.S. personnel were killed, President Ronald Reagan ordered the bombing of Libya's capital Tripoli and the Libyan city of Benghazi in 1986. The 2 men whom investigators believe are the bombers were in Libya. On December 21, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all 259 people on board as well as 11 on the ground. Not only because 179 of the 259 people on board were Americans, but because the bombing shattered America's sense of safety and security. The US and the UK were angry that Gaddafi would not turn over the wanted men, so they approached the United Nations Security Council for help. Ferry disaster, Belgium. Despite a calm sea and a clear view, the British ferry Herald of Free Enterprise capsized, overturned, on March 6, 1987. The accident happened just off the Belgian coast, near the harbour of Zeebrugge from where the ferry had left. The ship had a crew of 80 and carried 459 passengers, 81 cars, 3 buses, and 47 trucks. The directors did not have any proper comprehension of what their duties were. There appears to have been a lack of thought about the way in which the Herald ought to have been organised for the Dover-Zeebrugge run. All concerned in management, from the members of the board of directors down to the junior superintendents, were guilty of fault in that all must be regarded as sharing responsibility for the failure of management. Campbell Power Plant. April 26, 1986. A test was scheduled at the Campbell Nuclear Power Plant to test a method of keeping the reactors properly cooled in the event of a power grid failure. If the test had gone as planned, the risk to the plant was very small. The problem at the Campbell plant was that following an emergency shutdown of all power, diesel generators were needed to run the cooling pumps. By 1986, the plant had been running for 2 years without the implementation of a method to keep the cooling pumps running continuously following an emergency shutdown. This was an important safety measure that the plant was lacking, which gave the plant managers a considerable amount of urgency in completing another test. The experiment was scheduled to run during the day shift of 1985, while the night shift would only have to maintain cooling of the radioactive decay in the shutdown plant. However, another power generator nearby unexpectedly shut down, necessitating the need for the Campbell plant to delay the test and continue producing power. Pripyat, a city nearby the power plant, was not immediately evacuated. The radiation would affect all parts of the environment surrounding the plant, killing plants and animals and infecting the soil and groundwater.